Hi gang, I think it's just about 9 o'clock on Wellness Wednesday. Welcome, I'm Kathy Stevens, and today we have a great workout planned. But before I get to the workout, I like to always go over a little wellness tip or something to keep in mind during the workout that can help make us in general feel better and more healthy throughout the day, weeks, months, years, as long as we have together. Hopefully that's going to be a long time. So today I like to talk about what I call the Function Junction. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm talking about that junction between, or the connection between our brain and our body in terms of functional movement. And if you're a regular, I know that you're familiar with this because Dan goes over this connection all the time, the brain to body connection. Well, what you might not realize is a lot of it has to do with what we call motor control. And what is motor control? Motor control is the flow of information from the brain through the nervous system to the motor neurons that are in the muscles that allow us to do the movements or skills or functional things we want to do. And we know that we have gross motor skills. Those are the things that are, connecting the arms and legs to coordinated movement like walking and running and swimming and those large body movements that we do, including the ones that we do on the board. And then we also have the fine motor skills that are so important for the smaller groups, the fingers, the toes, the feet, the wrists. And those are all skills that we've learned. So you might be asking yourself, how do we lose some of these skills or control? And besides traumatic brain injuries, something like a stroke, or some type of pathology that has to do with a neurological condition, neuropathy, some of the things that we read about in some of the posts that you guys make, the drop foot, the neuropathy, or not feeling in the extremities like you used to, all the way to more serious diseases like MS or ALS, which actually today I'm dedicating this workout to my nephew, Eric Stevens, who's fighting the fight against ALS, not only for himself, but for the whole community as he tries to get bills passed for early access to different life-saving treatments that are being discovered and are in trial right now. So it's really exciting time for me because neurological problems hit close to home. And so back to what causes this, besides these diseases, we all experience some motor loss as we age. And the main reason for that is that our motor neurons, which are in the muscles, they die off as we get older. And as they die off, the muscles atrophy and we lose muscle mass. And then there's that combination of not only weakness, but a less connection to the brain, in particular with those muscle fibers that are more responsible for fast or more powerful movements. And that's why sometimes catching yourself, which takes some power, might not happen as fast or as readily as it used to when you were younger. But what's the good news? The good news is that we have motor learning, and it goes on throughout our life, from a child learning to go from his or her belly to crawling to climbing to walking to running, to all of us that might lose a little bit of our motor neuron or our motor memory, and we can use the same process to relearn some of these things. So that process, it's in 3 steps. And we do this in class all the time. You might not recognize it, so I'll just point it out. The first is more the cognitive. We really make you think, where are you placing that foot? What do I want you to focus on that will keep your posture in alignment, or that movement happening in the right chain or order, okay? That's where you really are thinking about it, and you have to practice the thought here to make it happen in the body down there or wherever, whatever limbs you're using. Next comes what we call the associative or the refinement stage, where you're like, okay, I did that move before, and I kind of remember what it felt like, and I had to pitch my chest up so that I didn't fall forward as I was going into that rocking motion. Whatever you start to associate, so it becomes a little more natural. And that happens from practicing the more cognitive thinking phase. Dan did a great cognitive thinking phase on Tuesday where he really gave you the ideas behind the ideas, which are so important because once we understand why we're doing something, we're much more likely to remember and associate the tips so that it becomes more natural. And that's the third phase, or the autonomous or automatic phase, where you don't even think about it anymore. You're just basically doing it. And we've all had skills in life where we saw that process. I love to use the example of riding a bike, where at first you sat there and your parent or mentor or whoever had to hold you or put training wheels on and explain what to do, and you had to think so hard, and you had a few falls sometimes. And then you slowly started to get it. You started to understand how to pedal and how to keep your body and your hips in alignment, your head over your shoulders. And then the next thing you know, you're riding your bike with no hands. So my goal today is for us to try to focus on a few key motor ideas that will help the technique of all the movements we do today. And most of all, to remind you to never give up, like my nephew Eric, who's fighting, even with one of the worst examples of neurological degeneration, ALS. So, you know, he's 30, he was just diagnosed the year he was married, but he's choosing to fight. He's having his first child this year, and we're all so excited for him. He's not giving up. And when I read a lot of the things you guys are posting on 60 Up, it gives me the same chills to know that you're not giving up on your challenges, that you're taking the time and reaching out to us for the answers so that you can safely proceed and hopefully keep your motor skills up. So what are my 3 great tips for today before we get started? Well, it's going to start from the bottom up. A lot of people talk about foot problems because of neuropathy or drop foot or just spastic problems in some of the muscles that don't let your ankle flex properly. So we're going to work a lot on toe picking up or ankle flexing up. That's so important for the walking movement, because if you can't pick that toe up as that leg swings through, you're going to possibly trip. And it's also going to make it difficult for you to get that foot up on the board. So we're going to spend a lot of time thinking about toe up, toe up, toe up, okay? What else are we going to concentrate on? Something I like to call the hip hinge, bending from the hips instead of rounding with the torso. There are many movements from getting out of a chair to picking up something off of the ground, where if you can use more hip action before you have to round maybe to reach, you can not only save your back a lot of stress, but your mechanics for getting there are going to be a lot better, okay? So whether that's dropping or putting something on the floor or picking it up or getting out of the chair, we're going to talk a lot about that. That's another motor thought I want you to have. Hip hinge, bend from the hip, lead with the hip, okay? And then the third, and very important to me, and I'm sure a lot of you, is what I call shoulder squeeze or retraction. Because so often we spend so much time here, whether it's, I don't know, typing, reading, driving, eating, brushing your teeth. Think of it. What are we teaching our muscles and our neurons? To slouch forward. And guess what? We can learn bad patterns as easily as we learn good ones. So we need to make sure that we learn the good ones that help us have good posture, because when your posture is right, then you're much less likely to fall or lose your balance. It's when we start pitching forward that everything goes in that direction. So the scapular squeeze, which is simply squeezing back the shoulder blades together and keeping them slightly back and down, helps, because as soon as they go back, everything else kind of goes back, including the chin and the nice leveling of the head over the shoulders. So that's the third thing that we're going to really reinforce cognitively as we go through the different moves, which will be your typical cardio and strength moves that you're used to. But I really want to hammer in the thinking and the connection of you to these 3 things: scapular retraction, hip hinge, and toe pickups. Are you ready? Let me see who's here. That was a nice little long intro to today, to our Function Junction. But let's see real quick. I see Betsy's here. Yay. Mary, thank you for being here. I can't see everybody, but I will continue to check in. Oh, hold on a second. I missed a few. Oh, wow. Pat, Craig, yay, hello. It's good to see you. Andrew, it's first time, maybe for me. I'm glad to welcome you here. And Mona, thank you guys. Mary, I'll be checking in with you. I do have to walk up and get a little close to my phone so that I can read it. And other than that, I'm going to put some music on. It's just fun for me, but I'm still going to keep you with those three things in mind. I'd like to ask, do you remember what they are? That's the first cog tip. Shoulder squeeze backs, hip hinge, toe lifters. We're going to talk about that a lot. So those are our underlying skills for today. Let me remind you before we get started, have water nearby because I always like you to stay hydrated. So important. Got my little patriotic backdrop going today. And so board, chair. Okay, I didn't warn you about that, did I? I've got a real treat for you. At the end of the class, or not the end, but the last 15 minutes, we're going to do some stress-reducing seated yoga. Why? Because a couple things. A couple of you have mentioned that by the end of class, sometimes your legs are tired. I did do a little insert of standing yoga one day, and this is Wellness Wednesday. Nothing better than a little yoga to get well. So I like to do some seated for two reasons. If you're tired, that way everyone can participate. Connect. I think I just got back here. I hope so. The other thing is some of you are mentioning things you can do when you're not at home by your board. And in a chair, there's a lot of things we can do. So today, towards the end, there'll be a lot of yoga we can do. All right. Glad you guys are watching, and I'm sure you're ready to go. So let's get going. What I will do is play music, so if it gets too loud, I'll check in as we do our first water break, and please let me know if the music is too loud. Ready, and here we go. I think that's about right. All right, I want you to come to your board, and you'll notice my chair is behind me. But I'm going to keep it back far enough where I don't have to worry about tripping on it. If you haven't got a chair near you right now, I will give you plenty of time to break to get one because it will only be used in the latter part of the class, okay? So let's start and let's think about those posture tips I told you. Shoulders back and down, hip hinge, here we go. Just hinge forward and lift up. And hinge forward. Here comes our warm-up, guys. I'm big on a nice warm-up so that we feel really ready before we step on the board. Hips go back, hips come front. Now, as you're doing this, your knees can be a little soft. It's okay if your knees are bent, but see if you can straighten them till you feel a little stretch going on down the backside, all the way. Hands on grips, leaning over. Now I'm going to turn to the side, so once again you can see that this is moving from the hips and up. From the hips and up. Two more. Hips and up. One more time. Hips and up. Now knee bending. Just bend. Lift. Not a deep bend. Down and up. And you're going to notice as you bend, your knees start to push a little bit forward. That actually is warming up that ankle as well. So forward, straighten, forward, straighten. Chest up, chin parallel to floor. And what about the shoulders? Squeeze them back and down a little bit. Nice work. All right, now the feet. Rise up, down. Just lift your heels a little bit. Up, down. Waking up those calves, waking up those feet, those toes. Let them spread if you can in your shoes. Keep going. Up, down, and breathe nice and deep. 4 more times. If your calves are getting tired, take a break. All right. Now, we'll put this together. Hinge, lift, bend, rise up and down. Hinge, lift, bend the knees, rise up and down. Again, hinge, lift, bend, rise up and down. Last time. Good. bend, rise up and down. Now, tap your toe out and in. Now, here's what my foot looks like from behind the board. Good. Chest up, chin up. Welcome, everybody. All right. Now, other side, same thing. Up and down. Now, what are we doing? We're warming up for that toe picking up we talked about. And I know some of you have very difficult time getting that foot to come up. So just imagine it if it's not going up. All right, tap and down. Just go ahead and stretch that ankle a little bit. Go ahead and point real light, but think about keeping those shoulders retracted behind you, those hips underneath you. Nice. No bending at the hip right now. Just point and tap. That's it. Try not to let the board bottom out. Be very soft, like you're creeping up and down. Nice. Let's do one more. All right. Now heel drops, just little pounding. And as you do this, think of tightening up, zipping up the pelvic floor, the abdominal wall. Nice. That's it. Okay, now let's hip hinge again, but this time, as we come out, we're going to roll our back. So hands are firmly on those poles to support your spine through this warm-up roll. Good. Now take your time. I'm going to show you from the side. Hip hinge is flat, and then when we get to the bottom of that flat position, we roll through. Hip hinge, and this should feel really nice on your spine and all those muscles that connect up to the head, all the way from the hips to the head. Good. Again, inhale and exhale. Let's do two more. Good job. Let's do one more. Awesome. Now shrug and roll the shoulders down and around. Good. Just get that circulation going in the upper back, in the neck, in the shoulder girdle. All right. From here, we're just going to take and let the head lean to the side and have circle down and lean to the other side. Now keep this gentle. I know some of you mentioned on the 60 Up member website that you get a little bit of dizziness or vertigo. So if that's you, then just minimize this and don't really drop too low and take it real slow. Sometimes rapid head movements or anything too exaggerated can exacerbate that. Standing nice and tall, chin up, chest up. Last one. All right, let's bring that head to the center. Now look to your right, look to your center, look to your left, look to your center. Again, look to your right. Oh, sorry, opposites. I forget I'm not in mirror image, so look left, look right. Good, again. Nice. All right, center it out, look up, look down. Now on this, I want you to try looking more with your eyes than your nose. So look up and stretch those eyes a little bit. And I want you to get used to looking down without having to drop your whole head. So I want you to look at the difference here. So if I go up and I use my head and down and use my head, ooh, that can be a little bit hard on my balance. But if I do more eye movement and a little less nose and chin movement, I can see what's down on the floor without too much neck bending. All right, from here, my legs are getting a little bit stiff. How about yours? So lift your heels up and down, just pedaling, pedaling, pedaling. Heels up, heels down. Good job, good job. Loosen up those ankles, knees and hips. Good job. Deep breath. Feel good. All right, now we're going to heel tap. So tap and drop. Tap and drop. Now again, I want you to take your time on this because we really want to think about the heel touching and the toe being as much off of that board as possible. Now you also have to think about keeping the leg you're standing on controlled and steady. You don't want it to bulge out to the side or lean out to the side. Okay, we're still going, alternating one foot, taking your time. knowing that if you need to, you can always sit down and do this with the chair right behind the platform. So use that as a nice break if you are having some issues and feel like you need to take a seat. You can still do this move with the feet. Good job. Last one. All right, now we're going to change it up. We're going to reach back. Feel the stretch in your hip. Bring it up. Pull your toe up and touch. All right, other side. Reach back. Feel the stretch in your hip. Pull your toe up as the knee bends. Keep the toe up and tap. Bring it down. Okay, we're going to do these again where we reach back first. Think of that like a stride in walking. As the foot comes up, right away get the toe pulling towards the ankle so you can settle it on the board and then step down. Reach back. So we're doing walking gait preparation here. Touch and bring it down. Reach it back. Here we go. Lift it. Swing it in. That takes a lot of strength in that toe picker upper. Reach back, toe picker upper as soon as you can. Concentrate on it, okay? Again, reach back, toe picker upper, flexing that ankle. And please be patient with yourself if this is difficult. Reach back. Even if you don't get it completely right, think about getting it right. As you think, you shall be. One day anyway. All right, lift it up, tap it up. We're taking this real slow because this is our cognitive. Reach back, quickly pull that ankle, touch the heel, and drop it down. All right, we'll do one more on each side. Reach back, quickly transfer and teach your brain to get that toe back up. Last side, reach back, pull up the toe, bring it forward, tap it down. Good job. All right, ease it out. Easy heel lifts again. All right, that was a good concentration. All right, now anytime I go into something like this, it's to keep a little blood flow and maybe a little light cardio going. And that's always optional. If you're new and you feel like it's too aggressive, just bend the knees instead. All right, here we go. I want this to be something that feels healthy for everyone. And I also want it to be challenging enough for everyone. So when I give a couple of ways to do something, please be your own best trainer and do the one that's best for you. Okay, so now we're going to do a little leg strengthening with the tapping. So foot up, down, foot up, down. So just put it up and down, up and down. Okay, so you're just letting the flat foot hit it. And now we're going to switch to flat, and now heel, and then toe. Here it comes. Toe, and then flat again. Flat. Just get used to that board being there. Heel, nice, heel, and then toe. I feel like I'm in the Wizard of Oz. Flat again, flat, little pattern. Heel, making your brain wake up a little bit too. Toe, flat again, heel again. All right, now we're going to do toe one more time, and then I want you to bend your knees and get ready. So clean sweep your brain. So we're going to do one leg each pattern. Flat, heel, toe, flat. Are you ready? Let's start with the right. Flat, heel, toe, heel, flat. Their side. Flat, I almost forgot it now. Heel, toe, flat. You gotta hold that leg up there. Flat, heel, toe. It's getting hard. Flat, again. Flat, heel, toe, flat. Two more times. Flat, heel, toe, flat. Last one, just when you got it, right? Heel, toe, flat, and ease it out again. Good job. All right, we're not done yet. We're going to take now and cross the midline. I want you to watch me one time, okay? So I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to cross over with the heel, toe, and then put it together and walk. Let's try the other side. Ready? Heel, toe, and walk. Okay, right side. Heel, toe, walk. Left side. Heel, toe, walk. Right side. Heel, toe. Again. Are those shoulder blades pulled back still? I know, sometimes we forget about that. So squeeze that shoulder girdle. Heel, toe, walk. Again. Heel, toe. And if you're not on the same side as me, that's okay. Just make sure you're alternating. Heel, toe, walk. Heel, toe, walk. All right, that's it. Bend the knees here. Just bend and release. A lot of great ankle work there. Learning how to strengthen and work that shin muscle, the toe picker upper, tibialis anterior. All right, now take your right foot and put it up into the lunge position on the board. Right around the red stripe in the middle. Now from here, I just want you to lean in and out, and in and out, and allow that knee to come forward over the toe, which, believe it or not, helps with ankle mobility. Good. Closing that angle between the shin and the front of the foot. Take your time, try to keep centered. We're going to take this up a notch. Feel the strength, the flat foot pushing out of the ball of the foot to get your body weight back. Leaning without coming all the way through your poles. That's it. So now what I want you to do is lean and tap up and then step back down. Lean, tap up, step back down. Same leg. Lean, tap, adding that little element of leg lift and strengthening to the front thigh. Keep the knee in direction of the toe and the hip in direction of the knee. Lean. All right, so what are we doing with our hip? We're hinging, remember? No rounding that upper back. Hinge, tap, and back. Bear your weight on it, lift. Now, I want you to think about what's happening here. You're leaning to get your weight propelling forward, but then you're lifting and you're squeezing your shoulder blades together to get that posture upright and over your body again. Again, lean, tap, step, back. Now that front foot is staying in place, so you're not really stepping back, you're just putting your foot back and starting over. Lean, chest lift, good. Hip hinge, scapular squeeze, nice. Ankle flexion, hip lift, scapular squeeze, all together. Nice. One more. All right, put it down and let's just shake that leg out and balance. Shake it out and balance. Nice work. Chin up, chest up. Excellent. Awesome. Now bring it up, tap, up, tap. Just kind of working that outer hip muscle a little bit. These are so important, the gluteus on the outside, because that helps stabilize you for when you're on the standing leg. We got it. 4, 3, 2, last one. All right, let's shake this off. March it out. A lot of concentration on that leg, right? So what happens on one side happens on the other side. Are you ready for it? Let's step the other foot up into the lunge position. Remember, simply leaning and pushing out. Leaning and pushing back. Noticing your knee move forward, closing that ankle angle. That's another way to increase that toe picker upper strength in the shin muscle. Now, as you lean, keep your shoulder blades squeezed back a little bit, and notice that you should be hinging from the hip. That's it. Concentrated effort. That's it. Lean, put your pressure on it, and push back. Feel all the way down to the toes, how you kind of catch your weight before it falls too far through those poles. Nice work. You can feel the strength building and coiling in that quadricep. Quadricep strength is so important because those are the muscles responsible for really getting us up and down out of a chair or off the floor. So we need to keep them strong, keep that muscle neuron healthy. 2 more. I'm going to add that tap up. Just going to add a little more strength to it. So we're going to lean, tap up, step back again. Lean, tap up, step back. Get ready again. Put your pressure forward, tap your toe, step back. Put your pressure forward, tap your toe, step back. Now, what did I want you to remember? Ankle, hip hinge, scapular squeeze. Ankle, hip hinge, scapular squeeze. Get that chest up. So important to write, R-I-G-H-T, not W-R-I-G-T-E, to write our posture, meaning getting our head up over our shoulders so that we don't fall forward with momentum. Lean, lift and squeeze, down again. Lean, lift and squeeze, down again. Good. Lean, lift and squeeze. Beautiful. Hopefully you're feeling some fatigue building in this hip and this thigh. That's where the strength comes in, is when you can work to fatigue, keeping good alignment, keeping good balance on that board. Let's do 2 more. Excellent. Let's do 1 more. Let's step down and let's shake off that leg. That leg should be a little bit tired. Good work. Awesome. Release tension in that leg. Good. Awesome. Awesome job. Out and in, just a little bit. Out and in. So we want to strengthen that outer hip. Out, in. Shoot the leg to the side. Stand tall and stay aligned without hinging. Shoulder blades back. Balance. Try not to overgrip your poles. And stop when this leg gets too tired or that hip starts to wiggle around too much. Beautiful. 2 more. Last one. All right, walk it out. Oh boy, my legs are feeling it. I hope yours are too. Excellent. Pedal those heels up or march. Marching would be a little more aggressive, where your foot is actually kind of coming up like a prancing move. Heel lifts are a little lower and maybe more appropriate if you feel like the march is just getting you a little too breathless. Awesome. Okay, guys, it's time for a water break. So come around, and as I come in here, I'll see if I see any comments that are important. Vicki, welcome. Hey, Jessica, thanks for joining me, and Janet as well. Okay, everybody get some water. I got a lot to do, so I don't want to waste too much time. Now, we've been behind the board a long time. Let's come on up and step bottom out, Just get your boat feet on, side to side, rock and lean. Sway. Now, what are we thinking about? We're thinking about feeling the pressure of our feet against the board, making that connection as you push right to left, keeping your hips underneath you, not hinging, but squeezing the shoulder blades back, retracting, keeping that chest up and that chin parallel to floor. Now, I want you to be thinking about your foot right now consciously. Push to the outer edge of your foot and feel a little bit more weight on the outer edges. Nice. Now, instead, I want you to kind of push with your heel. I know that sounds funny, but try to get your toes up and bear a little more weight in your heels. You're going to feel those shins. It's almost like you have to wiggle your toes in your shoebox. Nice. And you might stick your fanny out a little hip hinge on this one. And then let's do toes. Put your weight into your toes and let your heels pop up. Nice. Good job. That's it. All right, now let's step a little wider and let's just work off the inner edge of your foot. So purposefully try to keep the weight more to the inner side or the inside edge of the ball and the heels. Push side to side. Nice. Good. You got it. Beautiful. Excellent. Now bring it back in, walking your toes and slowly your heels in towards the center. And bring your feet at 1 and 1, 1 and 1. Okay? Now here's what I want you to do. As you're rocking, I want you to turn a toe out and in to the right. Okay? So I'm pushing my toe and I'm letting my hips and knees follow. Why? Because it's important when you turn that you let your body follow. Okay? So turn knee, hip, and toe. Push the toe down, pull it back. Push the toe down, pull it back. Strengthening some of those muscles on the outer side of the ankle that are responsible for that turning action. Good job. 4 more. Nice, and I'm letting that toe come back every time with the knee and the hip. Little swivel and hold here. Now let's go a little faster. Push, push. Push, push. Just get that heart rate up and going. Chest up. Scapular squeeze. You got it. Looks great. Excellent. All right, here we go again. So rock and push, but this time let your left toe pivot out, and you do have to use that ankle flexion as you move the foot, knee, and ankle. So for those of you that are having a lot of trouble picking up that toe, go slow. Maybe you don't get as many reps in, that's okay. But we need the knee to turn, and knee and toe have to work together along with the hip as well. So it swivels to the side and back, the side and back. Good job. Breathing, inhale, exhale. How's your scapular squeeze going? 4 more, 3 more, 2 more. Last one, center out. All right, rock it out. Get it going. Push, push, push. Soften your knees. Feel that connection from the foot through the calf, through the thigh, to the hip, to the core. Excellent. All right. Now, once again, let's keep the feet at about 1 and 1, maybe 1 and a half, 1 and a half. We're going to do some squats. So find your balance first, right in the center. Sternum up. Now, what do we have to do to squat? Hip hinge. So hip hinge back and then hip hinge forward. Start with a very small movement pattern, maybe just an inch or 2. Squeezing back, contracting with your thighs, squeezing up, contracting with your glutes. So hinge forward, keeping the shoulder blades retracted. Nice. Imagine you're sitting back over a chair of some sort. Ooh, a little wobble there. Now we're going to add on to this strength move, strength and balance. All right, so we're going to come down. Now stay here, lift one leg and bring it back. Squat, come here, lean, lift the opposite leg and come back. Here we go. So we're going to add a little hip abduction, we call that. Bottom out and lift, and then come to the center. Again, slow squat, stand up, lean and lift. Keep those shoulder blades together. Squat, lift, Lean the body and lift the leg. Don't lean too far. Squat. And again, if this is a little too aggressive, just point your toe and keep it on the board. You don't have to lift. Squat and lift. Squat and lift. Squat and lift. Now we're smoothing it out. See, I'm not taking as much time in between. I'm coming out of the squat with a lift. And that's when we start to smooth the pattern out. You know, that motor learning, that motor control, you really got to hold on and tighten the hips as you lift your leg to stay in control. You've got to keep the scapular squeeze going behind you. You've got to try to squat back with balance in mind, trying to level the board out. Head up. Beautiful. Ooh, lots of leg work today, right? 4 more. Good. 3 more. Last 2. 1 more time. All right. Ease it out. Do your shift. Bring your feet in a little more. For those of you that want to kick it up a little, you can do a little bit of more of a running move here. Get that heart rate elevated. Wiggle your fingers every once in a while so that you don't over grip those hand grips. Here we go. Up, up, up. Now for those of you that want to stay a little more grounded with this, you've got some options. You can keep your toes down and only lift your heels, or, and don't do this, just watch it, you can step off and do it from the ground. I like to let everybody know that the board is more advanced than the floor. So at any time you feel like, oh, this is just too much, go back on the floor and mimic it. Or even sit down and mimic it. That's it. Keep that run going. Chest up, scapular squeeze. Hips under, shoulders. That's it. Keep going. In 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Balance in the center. Find your balance. Tighten up. Hold it right here. Shoulder blades back. Hip hinge forward and try to keep balance. And then bring the hips under. Hip hinge forward. Here's a good time to wiggle those fingers. Good. Hip hinge. Keep the scapular squeeze going. Let the hips go to the back wall. Nice work. Focusing again on using the hip without rounding the spine. Nice. Ooh, there goes my balance. Try to keep that board level. Nice. 2 more times. This is a deadlift, by the way, which is a great exercise for the glutes and hamstrings. But you need to keep the back straight. Soft knees if you like, but not overbent. 2 more times. Nice. Last one. Beautiful. And hold it up here. Now just tighten everything up. I want you to squeeze your muscles in your calves, in your thighs, in your glutes, in your core, in your shoulder blades. Everything tight, and drop your heels up and down. Little pound, not high. Just a little tiny hit, 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 hit. Pull your shoulder blades back and down. Keep your chin level. Feel that little bit of reverberation through the body. That's stimulating the bones. Of course, if it doesn't feel right, then just bend your knees instead. Let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we're going to move to the outer edge. So you're on one side of your board. You let it bottom out, right? Now from here, you can concentrate on this one pole, or you can hold both if you're more steady that way. We're just going to squat onto the floor and then pull it in. We're going to squat onto the floor and pull it in. Squat, hip hinge, pull in, shoulders back. Squat, hip hinge, pull back. What does this do? It gives you a little bit more room for ankle flexion. Remember what we're working on, ankle flexion. A little more room for hip flexion. And then a real quick, powerful push back for those faster, more powerful muscles in the leg. Good. And up, shoulder blades pulled back, chin parallel to floor. Got to think about that. Keep your mind on it till it becomes phase 3, automatic phase. Nice. One more. All right, now I want you to turn and face the side. We're still leaning down, but we're side facing, okay, on the end. Now we're going to take that same leg that was getting a little tired and step down with it. So step down and then step back. Step down, step back. So just place the foot on the floor, but keep the shoulder blades squeezed back. Like you're going down the stair, but then you change your mind. Step, squeeze back. Step. Now you have to learn to decelerate. So ball to heel, quad contracting. Ball to heel, dynamic tension building in that thigh. It slows you down and reduces that downward momentum. Good. Now, what about the scapular retraction? Look what happens if I do this. If I do this, I want to fall at that point. So I have to keep that scapular retraction and that head over shoulders really clearly cognitively in mind. 2 more. Last one. Nice job. Okay, shimmy around, little tiny shimmies so you stay on your board. All right? Now, from here, we're going to walk and watch. So walk and watch. Watch your feet like you're on a plank, and then walk back. Watch your feet. Now, I do want you looking down right now because I want you to see what that is to get you to the end. And then as you start to develop a mind's eye for it, it's just a step forward, a little scooch, and a step back. But what's happening is as the board moves, and the reason I say watch is if you feel like you're not in control, then don't look up. But if you can, I don't want your feet to come off the board. I want them to stay on the board. That's why we're only doing a step together and a step front, step together, step back. And I want you to feel what this is doing to your body. As it pitches forward, you've got to squeeze those shoulder blades back. As it pitches back, you've got to keep the shoulders over the hip and not let them hinge. Right? I don't want this. I want you to stick your butt out as you go downhill on the backside. Stay high. Keep those buns tight. Keep the scapular squeeze. Take it slow. Creep up and down. Don't do anything that doesn't feel appropriate for you today. All right? And again, could I be doing all this on the floor? Sure, I could. I could just be stepping forward and back, which in itself is good for the brain because we don't always step back, but sometimes in life we have to. Now keep those hips under, that head up high. Again, anytime you get a little wobbly or shaky, it's probably a good idea to come to the floor. Okay, now stay over in the front, turn to face me. We're bottomed out. We're going to squat and lift. Squat and lift. I'm not rocking my board. I'm just taking the advantage of getting a little more range of motion in the ankle, the hip hinge, with a nice mind's eye or concentration on scapular squeezing. Nice. Pretty soon, see how you go, oh, I'm kind of putting this together. The ankle, the hip, the scapular squeeze, it's making sense. I'm starting to do it without Kathy having to bug me. And then at some point, oh my gosh, it happens every time, and you don't even have to think about it, and that's where you're off and running or off and riding. That's it. Beautiful. 2 more. Last one. Good work. Now, remember what I said on the last one? Tired leg, outside leg. We're going to step down the stairs and then push back. We're going to decelerate and push back. We're going to catch our weight and push back. Now, remember, you're going downstairs and you don't want to drop your chin, and you want to keep your scapula squeezed back slightly because that elevates and keeps the sternum high. Beautiful. And this has got a little power push to it. There's a pop at it. That's a push. Power is any time you load and explode the muscle. Load, explode. And those take fibers that react a little faster. That's what we call them, the fast or the power fibers. They're the first to go. And that's one of the reasons that we tend to move a little slower and not react as quickly to the forces of gravity. So it's important to think about it, concentrate. Catch it, push it back. Let's do two more. Catch it, push it back. Last one, catch it, push it back. And turn, little turnies. We're almost ready for yoga. Don't give up on me yet. Here we go. Walk, two, walk, back. Remember, you can do this on the floor, and I want you to think about keeping that control, the scapular squeeze, a little step, not too big, because I don't want you stepping off your board on this one. I just want you to feel the force of gravity trying to change your head, shoulder, and hip alignment, and you saying, no way, I'm keeping it lined up. Even if I get a little wobbly, I'm going to catch it, because you've got to get that head back up over your shoulders when you start to pitch yourself off into forward or backward action. You've got to get it back stacked up like a plumb line. Here we go, working hard today, I know. Two more. Last one. All right, bring it back to the center. All right, final exercise before our yoga stretch. Easy rock. Now, what am I going to do here? I'm going to say, in life, yes, we have to concentrate, but we also have to multitask and feel comfortable doing multiple things without losing good form and alignment. So I want you to start by keeping that scapular squeeze, abs tight, hips level, and turn the head side to side. Oh boy, if that makes you dizzy, then only look diagonally versus side to side. Diagonal, diagonal, diagonal. Good. Now, what I want you to do next is as the knee comes forward, think about this, opposite pole is going to, I have to really think, opposite pole is pushing forward. So cross crawl. Knee, pole, opposite. Is yours opposite? I know, I started wrong. See if you catch it. Push, push, push. Now obviously if you have the middle poles, you're not going to push hard. You're just going to contract the muscle of the arm against it isometrically, which is good. Works those shoulders, those biceps, those pecs or chest muscles as you push that pole. Can you feel that? Feel that in the upper body musculature? Good job. 4 and 3. Chin up, chest up. 2. Last one. Okay, now rock side to side again. Here comes a new challenge. Now what do? We reach and we push it off. Reach. Now if you don't feel comfortable letting go with one arm, then don't. Just kind of make the shoulder do it like this. Imagine your shoulders reaching. Reach, throw it away. Reach, and if you want to make it even a little more multitasking, look in the direction. But again, if that's too much, don't look. Look forward or look down for a second and look forward again. Good. 2 more. Last one. All right, other side, here we go. Over, back, reach. Remember, if you don't want to let go, you can reach with your core and your shoulder and not your arm. Reach. And you can look in the direction as you reach and you throw. You reach and you throw. Beautiful. 4 more. And 3. 2. 1. Good job. All right, let's give ourselves a nice slow hip hinge stretch. Tap your toes from here. Cooling it down, guys. Tap your toes if you can, and if those toes aren't coming out, bend your knees a bit and see if that helps. Oh, there comes our slower music. I was waiting for it. Hip hinge with a flat back. If your toes aren't lifting, just lift the toes, literally. You don't have to lift the forefoot. Just kind of wiggle your toes up to the top of your shoe. Keep your neck long. Beautiful. All right, now gently come back up and step off. Grab your chair. Here comes our chair time. Beautiful. So I'm going to put my chair in front, move my board to the side, and grab some quick water. Glad you're watching, guys. Thanks, Joe. Excellent. Ron, good to see you today. All right, sitting down now. Could you do this standing? Yes, you could. But you know what? I don't know about you, but I'd like to let my legs rest a little. And as a matter of fact, I'd like to massage them a little too. So let the palms of your hands push down the front of your thighs. Inhale and exhale. Keep your back flat in the hip hinge. Let me show you from the side. Again, slide it forward, slide it back. Slide it forward. Good. Just again, moving from the hip, massaging those quadriceps. You can even rub a little love into your kneecaps if you want. You know, the feeling of touch is such a good thing, even if it's just you touching your own knees. That's going to make that circulation and blood flow go down to the extremities. Excellent. All right, now we're going to take this, we're going to slow down. We're going to shoot the arms up to overhead reach. Inhale for me. And then we're going to exhale, hands come to thighs, hip hinge forward. And then we're going to unhinge, and we're just going to twist to one side gently, very small, and then bring it back to the center. Let's do that again. Arms come up, they come down, you exhale, you hip hinge, you come back up, and you twist to the other side, just gently, just a little twist, okay? And then back to the center. Should we try that again each side? Arms come up, they go down. You exhale as they come down, you lean in with a flat back. You bring it back to tall seated posture and you twist just gently to that one side. Here we go. Arms come up, they go down. Little mountain pose right there. Chest up, lean in. Hip hinge. Come back up. And then twist and look to your side. Hold it for a second. All right, bring it back to the center. Now bring your arms, interlace your fingers. Push them out and up. Nice. And then just gently pull your body on a diagonal to one side. Inhale, exhale. Let the arms part. And as they come down, I want you to take one arm and stretch the right side of the neck gently, gently, gently to the side. Stretching right. Good job. And then bring it back up and release it down. Okay, we're going to do that again. Here we go. Push forward, arms up. Lean to the opposite side, whole body. Nice deep breath. Don't crumple to the side. Bring it back up. This time, as the arms come down, you pull and stretch the left side of your neck gently. And you let it down again. Let's do it again. Interlace. Palms go up and stretch. Inhale, exhale, lean it to the side. Not too far. Bring it back up. Let the arms come down, but one remains to stretch across your neck. Awesome. And then let it down. High altar, we call this. Again, up, interlace, lean, strong core, center, and stretch. Beautiful. And then bring it down. Awesome. Roll your shoulders around with a nice couple of deep breaths. Now from here, we're going to do the sun salutation, arms up. They clasp together like this, and you lift and you really pull like somebody was tractioning your arms above. Then as they come down, we're going to come and lean into that hip hinge, but we're going to do the cat-cow. So with the cat, you round the back and tuck the chin, exhaling, and with the cow, you inhale and you retract those shoulder blades. See, we're still thinking about that, aren't we? Motor control, shoulder blades back. We'll do 5 of these. Cat back, pull the belly in and contract the abs, tuck the chin to chest. Exhaling on that, inhaling on the cow. Pull the shoulder blades back, arch the back. Stay in your comfort zone. Again, pull the belly button in, tuck the chin in, exhale the air out, cat back, and then push through, shoulder blades, scapular squeeze, hip hinge. Pull your toes up, why not? Get back to those toe picker uppers. One more time, pull the belly button in, rounding, tuck the chin, stretch the spine. Inhale as you come forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the toes up. You got all three actions happening right now. Hip hinge, scapular retraction, toes up. And then come out of this, sitting up nice and tall. Now we're gonna fold one foot up onto the other. Now, some of you might find this a little exaggerated, okay? So if that is so, then you just fold it over the ankle, but the knee is still in that outward pigeon position. Now, as we hold here, I want you just to pull your shoulder blades back and your arms, if you can, hold them behind you. Now, if you've got arms on your chair, it might get in the way, hold the arms. All right, hold them back, open your chest, stretch across the front shoulder, and lean in without rounding the back, hip hinging. Now take that ankle, flex, point, flex, point, shoulder squeeze, hip hinge, ankle flexion. Our three focuses of the day today. Nice job. 4 more. Breathe. Inhale and exhale deeply. 3, 2, last one. And then allow that leg to cross. Now what are we going to do? Bring the arms forward and put one underneath. Wrap it inside and try to get your palms together. I'm not going to ask you to wrap the legs, but if you were a more advanced yogi, you would try to get the same twisting action happening on the leg as on the upper or the pigeon hold. This is a great back, neck, and shoulder stretch. Let the arms go up slightly, feel what it does to your back, and then let them come down and feel what it does to your neck and shoulders. Keep that nice, tall, seated posture the whole time. And use a deep, fluid breathing. Inhale and exhale, head centered over the shoulders, shoulders level and over the hips. Exhale, inhale. Last one. Let the arms down, open them out, shake them out. Okay, other side. Pick up the other leg, and remember, if this is too extreme for you in the hip, this is a big hip opener. Keep it down there. Sometimes if you've had a hip replacement or any kind of hip arthritis, this just might not be possible anymore. So listen to your body. Arms go behind again, opening up the chest, and then we lean in over the leg, and we flex and point. Now, how far you lean depends on the flexibility you have, but I don't want you rounding the back just to get a little more forward. So only lean as much as you can by hip hinging, and then flex and point the toe. Squeeze those muscles between your scapula together. Open the chest. It should feel so good across the chest and shoulders. Nice, deep breaths. I always like to do about 3 to 5 deep breaths in a pose. All right, let that leg slide down, cross. If you can remember which one was on top or which one went under, do the opposite one this time. I should have told you to remember last time, shouldn't I? Well, maybe you can sense it. Either way, let's lift and drop those shoulders. Inhale and exhale as the arms shift up and down, and keep that head aligned over the shoulders, chest lifted, stretching the upper back. Now it's very hard, you can't really squeeze your scapula together on this one, can you? Because we're stretching that area right now. Let's do a few more. Last one. Let it down and shrug it around. Now, we've pretty much come to the end of our workout time, but I do want us to get into our final relaxation. So I want you just to lean forward your body weight hang. You're resting your forearms on your thighs. And I have a lot more of these I was planning to do. I just ran out of time. So I will try to add some yoga to all of our Wellness Wednesdays if everybody likes that idea. Now let your head hang if you're comfortable with that. Just let it hang and release the tension in the back of the neck. And if you will slide your hands down to your feet. Now that's if you're comfortable, okay? I don't want anybody to do anything that they're not comfortable with. But the key thing here is releasing the back of the neck, letting the crown of the head just fall towards the floor. Nice job. Taking a deep breath, inhale, exhale, inhale. Let the stress of the day, the year, the month float off of your head, down into the ground. And then slowly, regardless of where your hands are, let your head start to come up like you're looking to the horizon. And then start to bring yourself back, if you weren't already at this, what I'll call middle station, where the head, shoulders, and hips are hinged forward in a nice long line. Look behind one shoulder gently. Look behind the other shoulder gently. Stretching the neck, keeping the back flat. Bring it back to the center. Now hands come to thighs. Pull your belly button in and reverse curl yourself up to seated posture with head over shoulders, and then pull the shoulders down and back. Hands here. Open out. Inhale, exhale. Serving out love from your heart and your center and in. Two more. Inhale and exhale. Use your belly breath. Breathe in the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Last one. Now flip the hands down. Final move. Let the arms come up. And then pull down through the heavens. Just nice thoughts to end your day. Floating the arms. Gathering the energy. Pulling it into your center. Again, lift up, pull down, and bring the energy to your center. And feet together, hands at heart. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed your workout today. I'm coming at you to see if there's any final comments. Again, let's see here. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed the yoga, Betsy. I'm a real fan of starting and ending the class feeling very great, and I think yoga helps to allow that to happen. So Wellness Wednesday will always have a little bit of extra mind-body wellness, as well as the wonderful motor learning that goes on with the 60 Up. I want to thank you guys. George, good to see you. Let's see, Judith, I think I've called out most of you. Ron, if I didn't recognize or call out to you, excuse me, and feel free to ask me any questions after in the chat box, and I'll get back to you. I usually try to answer within the same day, but you can always address anything that we talked about in class, as well as any ideas. I know Dan is recruiting to get ideas from you in terms of what you want us to work on. So it does help greatly for you to tell us when there's something you do really like. And of course, it makes us feel great that we're providing that. All right, thank you. I'm grateful for you as well. All right, so I'm going to sign off since we are running a few minutes late, and I know they're going to say, little long, Kathy. But thanks again. Be proud to be whoever you are. Vote, and God bless America and the rest of you for being here today. Bye-bye.